all of those people are on a conveyor belt to leave to remain and citizenship. Judging by the numbers that came in, about 2 million people could start becoming British citizens by next year. We need to stop that, because one of the things that is really creating pressure on public services is the sheer number of people who are here. We're on a housing estate, for instance. I'm here with the Conservative candidate for the Peterborough and Cambridgeshire mayoralty, and we can't build homes fast enough for the people who are here. So we need to make sure that all of the people who are here have to have a meaningful contribution to the UK. So one of the things that we would be changing is making sure that people are net contributors to the UK. Lots of people come in to do work, but they bring dependents, so they're net recipients of welfare, of benefits, if you've claimed social housing benefits or any benefits at all.
So pay your way, essentially.
More than pay your way, really.
And it's over for 5 years.
When they are hard truths. A lot of the things that have gone wrong over decades in the country are because politicians make promises without plans. And just having an announcement is not sign of a policy. What we are showing is we've done the thinking behind saying we're just going to cut immigration. And the policy about changing the rules around getting citizenship and leave to remain. Citizenship and leave to remain is a sign that we have thought through and worked up a proper plan that will make a difference.
Well, let's talk about that plan, because a lot of it is about the net benefit a migrant has to the economy. How will you measure how much migrants are benefiting the economy? And doesn't this just favour the rich?
No, it doesn't. What we're trying to do is make sure that we don't create pull factors onto our welfare state. It's very good when we have people coming to our country, working hard and contributing. But if they need to have benefits, if they need social housing, then they're not net contributors to our economy. They are net recipients. And that makes everybody poorer, because it means other people are having to work harder to pay for migrants' housing and benefits and so on. We need people coming to this country to be adding to our growth and productivity and to our society, not being net recipients of benefits.
Have you been bounced into this announcement by the rise of reform, and how concerned are you by their popularity in the country at the moment?
Well, I first talked about this plan in November. I made a speech a couple of weeks after being elected leader, and I said there would be more to come. We talked about having a hard cap on visas in law. That was the announcement in November. We've taken some time to look at this policy. And one of the things that is important is that Labour is bringing a bill next week about immigration that's actually going to take the country backwards. They're going to make it easier for illegal migrants to get citizenship. That's terrible. And we are the opposition now. The country's given us a job to hold the government to account. I need to be an effective opposition leader, making sure we steer the government on the right course as part of that.
But just on that second point, how concerned are you about the rise of reform? They would say they're the real opposition at the moment.
Yes, Reform has 5 MPs. The Liberal Democrats have 70. We have 120.
But they're rising in the polls, you'd admit that.
I remember when the SDP was at 50% in the polls. What I'm trying to show people is that we are doing the real thinking, looking at legislation line by line, making sure that what becomes law in this country is what's good for the public. We don't have the 400 plus MPs that Labour has, but we are doing the thinking that's going to make people's lives better.
Let me just move on to the economy. The Bank of England's decision today to cut interest rates, but also slashing the growth forecast. What's your reaction?
I think that the figures are disappointing when it comes to the growth forecast. They've basically said the growth has halved from 1.5 to 0.75%. That means we're going to be getting poorer. They've also said that unemployment is up. It's now worse than it is in the US. And also inflation is going up. Those are very concerning figures that mean that the quality of life for people around our country is going to be reducing. And what is most interesting is that the Bank of England linked that directly to Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer's budget.
Moving on again, the government has announced plans to make it easier to build mini nuclear power stations in England and Wales.